Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Marta's Sci-Fi Seminar, and this is our 10th video on the drafting process. If you've been subscribing, if you've been kind of following along, watching them at your own pace, but maybe as frequently as every 2 weeks, which is about how frequently they come out. I'm grabbing my notes here as we talk. You may be as far as 45,000 words, which is fantastic. Like, you're almost there. The end is in sight. And I am thrilled for you that you have made it this far. That's a whole bunch of words. If we're aiming for a draft of 60 or 70,000, you don't have a lot of words left. Sorry, the camera is shaking. We are being visited by one of my cats. Hang on just a moment. I'm sure he will be back. So 45,000 words. Congratulations. I know I say it a lot. Keeps being true. Keep up the momentum. Keep writing. Keep reading. Go back to your outline. Go back and do more brainstorming if you need to. Don't start editing yet. I got a whole different series of things to talk to you about when you feel like when we get done with the draft and you're ready to move into an editing phase. That is not yet, okay? Right now, the job is just to keep making words go. And I know it's probably tempting to drop into editing, but don't. As a freelance writer and editor for more than 20 years, number one thing I've got to tell you is separate your writing and your editing processes. Do the one, get it done, and then start the other. Don't try to mix and match. Not at the top. No. So, we have been talking about elements of fiction, literary terms that are related to writing, discussing writing, and also discussing those terms now, I think will help us when we get to the editing videos. So today's terms are craft and style. Did you hear the meow? Here. Oh my gosh, he just really needed to make a cameo today. So here he is. Yeah, isn't he gorgeous? All right. Today's terms are craft and style. We speak about both of these things interchangeably. We speak about both of them frequently when we're talking about an author's work. But I think it's probably, if you ask 5 writers or 10 writers to define them, you're going to get 5 or 10 different definitions. So here are mine. For me, both style and craft are rooted in the choices we make as writers. Style is about teeny tiny choices. When your character picks up the phone for a number that they don't recognize, does your character say, "Hello"? Does your character say, "Hello, this is Ingram"? Does your character say, "Hey," or "What"? Okay, that's style, those little micro things. Now, as you're writing, and hopefully as you're writing, things are flowing and you're not having to think about every word or every utterance. Hopefully things are, at this point, presenting themselves to you and you're just jotting it all down as fast as you can go. What's important to remember is that even though it doesn't feel like you're making choices in those moments, you are making choices. Your brain is moving faster than you realize it is moving, and it is shaping things. It will be your job, my job, to help you in the editing section of this process to continue to nurture and underscore the choices that you're making naturally. But I think if I were to separate craft and style, I would say style is all of those choices that we make naturally. All of those choices that just emerge as part of the narrative. Does the writing sound very formal? Does the writing sound very short, very staccato, very fragmented? That's style. And I would say style is there even from the earliest drafts of a given work. Shaping that style, nurturing that individual style, that is, to me, part of the work of craft. Craft then is about looking at all of those little microscopic choices and figuring out what they add up to. And figuring out, okay, there's some places where the energy of the language falls off. All right, so we need to reinvigorate that section, and marking that and figuring out, okay, you know, that's something that needs further investigation. That's something that needs more work. And one moment, please. My cat is, again, exploring. Hi. No, no, no. I really am still here. I really thought it was going to be fine to have the cat in here while I shot the video. It's really, I think he's hilarious, but anyway, so style is the little bitty pieces of things. Craft is, and the little bitty pieces of things that you're deciding in the moment. You don't even realize you're making those decisions. To me, those are the things that make up style. Craft is the work you do after. Craft are the bigger, more conscious decisions. Craft is part of the work of editing. Craft is the difference between a rough draft that has a lot of energy and a lot of style in it, versus a final draft that feels more polished and more consistent. Craft is making sure the character names all match throughout the novel and are attached to the characters they are supposed to be attached to. The work of craft is the work of figuring out who, he's behind me again. Yeah, I'm being totally upstaged here as he tries to eat things off the painting. Yeah, sure. Craft is about intentionality. I think style is maybe less about intention, more about intuition. But clearly you will hear different writers use those terms differently. Hey, don't eat that. Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Okay, now maybe he's gonna settle down. So, craft of writing, what we talk about, the craft of a novel, we're really talking about how well has the writer and or any editor that has helped work on the book figured out the larger issues and done what they can to make the best of the sort of native choices that a writer might make on the smaller issues to really polish and make those things shine. So style, writing style, and craft. Moving into the book review portion for this week's sci-fi seminar, I cannot recommend Justina Ireland's Dread Nation highly enough. It is really great read. It's been marketed as a YA book. Most of the characters are late teens, early 20s, being totally upstaged by the cat behind me. The gist of the book is that the Civil War is interrupted by the fact that the dead begin rising and eating the living It's a zombie apocalypse novel. I'm not a huge zombie apocalypse fan, but boy, Ireland really sold me on it. The characters, we spend our time primarily with a small group of characters, two in particular, who are Jane and Catherine, who have been trained at a combat school set up for young women who had formerly been enslaved. And there are combat schools set up for young men who had formerly been enslaved as well. So Ireland's doing some sophisticated and interesting things with this notion that the Civil War ended slavery per se, and yet the racial divide continues. The exploitation of black labor continues, even during a zombie apocalypse. And at various points in the novel, makes these wonderful comments that stand beautifully in the context of the post-Civil War era that she's covering, and yet that also stand in the context of the situation that we are facing today, in terms of racial prejudice and discrimination. So some really sophisticated thinking happening, really action-packed narrative. It's hard to be able to do either of those things. It's really hard to be able to do those two things together. But I think not only does Ireland manage it, she manages it and she makes it look easy, which is just, the best trick there is. But it often means that when you make something look easy, people don't recognize how much craft has gone into that particular piece of work. And I would say this is Dread Nation. And the sequel I have not yet read, The Deathless Divide, are extraordinarily well crafted. And I am looking forward to reading the next one, looking forward to finding out more. So, everybody, keep writing, keep reading, find Dread Nation, Justina Ireland, and have a great day. May your cats be more cooperative than mine. Bye-bye.